I'm going to go over the system I use for 2019 season. Hang and hunt, run and gun, mobile hunt, however you want to call it. There's a whole community of us that hunt this way. The cool part about it is we all modify our things. We kind of build off each other's ideas and make a system that works for us. It's crazy to me that Northwest Ohio, where I live, that nobody understands it. The people that I work with, co-workers and stuff, they all use their ladder stands and leave them out from season to season, and they shake their head when I say that I carry my stuff in and out every day. So I pretty much hunt exclusively public land, and this is a system I've used exclusively for the last season to work with. So go over real quick, going to give you an idea how I set it up, how I carry it, how I pack it, and how I get the tree, and what it weighs. So starting with Xop Evolution, it came out new for 2019. I got one of the first ones that came out. Awesome stand, super stable. I have no complaints. A couple things that I did to it: the seat is super uncomfortable, so I just cut a thermoset pad, cut it, zip tied it in, lay that underneath the original seat cushion, and that works perfect. You can do all day sits in this with no problem. Piece of 550 cord I use to hang it, third hand archery bow holder, and then a Molly 2 backpack system to carry everything off of. So as you see that stand sitting right there with two straps, the third hand, the Molly system, and everything, that stand weighs 15.8 pounds, just like you see it. My climbing system is 3 Hall Heliums that have been modified. I've got them cut to 25.5. Versa buttons, 1/4 inch am steel. They're obviously down to 2 steps. On my sticks, I've got them numbered, so 1, 2, and 3. And then the back sides are drilled to accept the Versa button head, the head of that bolt, so they stack nice and neat. And I'll show you how I put those together in just a sec. The pack that I used this year was a Game Gear Leech. So if you've ever seen this, it's a pack that's made to basically hook to a tree stand. If you weren't carrying a tree stand, this pack wouldn't work very well. But for this system, I'll show you, it worked great for this whole season. Harness, just a Summit Sport, nothing fancy going on there. Regular lineman's belt. The only really addition here, I've got a couple things, 550 cord added to the sides to carry my sticks up with me. And then I carry this small pouch, which I'll show you how I got that. But basically what I've got is an Amstel whoopee sling that is Brummel locked to my left side with a carabiner to hook to the other side, obviously. And then I use that as a secondary alignment to get around tree limbs, or if I need to transfer when I'm getting from stick to stand. If my lineman's belt's below the stand, obviously I'll hook this above it to safely get above. And then I also carry the gear loop in this pouch, and I'll show you why I do that in a minute when I get on the tree. So that's pretty much my entire system. Weight wise, if you want to know, the harness and lineman's belt's 5.4 pounds. My pack loaded, no camera gear or anything like that, right at 7 pounds. The sticks are at 7 pounds completely. Stand's 15.8. So without having a coat or anything else like that, outer layers on it, I'm looking at 35.2 pounds. So not the lightest system in the world, but not the worst either. So real quick, how I pack it. It's pretty simple. I leave the top strap on the Xop all the time. The buckle side is always hooked. I take this side here, you've got to feed it through the stand and then back up through itself so that it'll capture the beam and hold it. Once that's hooked there, hook it back on the Versa button and then pull everything tight. And that's going to create me a loop that I can put my sticks in. Okay, just like that. I take my bottom strap and kind of do the same idea with it. Just going to feed it through the stand. And on this one, I'm using a carabiner to connect the two together. Non-climbing rated, just a beaner for this. So now I end up with that loop there. Okay, that's where my sticks are going to go. As I said, my sticks are numbered 1, 2, and 3, so they sit together. So that's what they look like together. We'll use the tarp bungees, 2 of those, to hold the sticks together. So then they sit like that. Once I'm there, the sticks are going to go through these loops, the tree stand loops. I'm going to sit them right on the center of the beam. Tighten that down. Tighten that down. Fold the extra strap over, stick it in the bungee. So then I look like that. The pack's gonna lay on just like that. I use the extra strap around the top just in case. Got 4 points of attachment on this bungee system off this leech. So the top two. Once you got the 4 points on there, you just grab the top and bottom straps and this compresses everything. And then it looks like that. If I'm wearing an outer layer, like if I just grab an extra coat, I'm just going to lay a coat right underneath the side of this, tuck it up in the bungee, and there would be how I would carry that. So all in all, so that's what I'm looking at. It's worked pretty good for me. I don't normally have too crazy of a walk. Generally, probably under 1,000 yards, so it's nothing too crazy. Plan on hunting Southern Ohio this year, so I'm gonna try to lighten things up a little bit, but this is what I used all this season. So we'll change views and I'll show you how I set it up in a tree. I walk the tree. This is what I've got everything I need. Pick a tree. For this purpose, I'm just gonna work off one stick at the ground level to show you. I think everybody gets the idea of how to climb with a stick, so first thing I had to do is pop this off so I can get all my stuff off of it. Generally do not use an aider. Never really feel the need to get that high. I do carry a 2-step aider in my bag just in case there's something that I feel like I need to get some extra height. But for me, generally speaking, I take the bottom of the stick where these 3 screws are for your standoff and your steps. I put my knee right there and I do that all the way up. And that's kind of where I'm comfortable to climb with height-wise. So once the first stick is set, the rest of my sticks, I just take the standoffs in and they're gonna hang just like that. And that's how I'll climb up with those. For the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna do the one stick. So, but that's how I would get up. The stand stays on my back as I climb, and then my bow and my bag will be hooked to an HSS pull-up strap, that's the wind-up strap. That's what I use. Lineman's belt on, somewhat adjusted. I don't run any mechanicals. So once I'm up to here and I'm ready to hang my stand, let's say I'm at my top stick. This is where some of the stuff I said. So I'm going to take out my whoopee sling. I won't need it right this minute. So it gets hooked to here. What I do is I take out my gear hanger though. I'm going to go ahead and hang that on the tree. This is a rough bark pine, but you get the idea for the video. I'm going to take one of these hooks, the utility hooks, put it somewhere where I think I want my stand to be. And then from there, I'm going to use that to hang my stand. So when the stand comes off, remember I showed you I had that piece of 550 cord on there? So I'm going to take that 550 cord, hook it into there, and then at this point, I can be hands-free now while I mess with feeding the strap around. Something, word of caution is too, don't run the strap over your lineman's belt. Been there, done that. I speak from experience when I say that. So once I get the strap around where I want it, and get that somewhat tight, I'll make sure I take the 550 cord off, and then from there I can move my gear strap up And then once I get set, I'll readjust it exactly how I want it. So from right here, this is where, for me, usually this is how I'm set. So this is where I'll take the whoopee sling. I'm going to run it as a secondary alignment. Once that's set, and I feel good with the adjustment on it, my alignment belt that's now captured by the tree stand, I can take it off. So now I'm still connected and safe. I'm gonna take this lineman's belt now that I have it off, and I'm gonna use it as my tether once I set. So then I can step up into the stand. I don't have much room here. So I'll step up into the stand. Once I'm on the stand, I'll take my lineman's belt off my left side. I'll wrap it around the tree, girth hitched. What I personally do is 2 wraps through the carabiner. So 1 and 2. And then I hook into there, and then that serves now as my tether. I can take the whoopee sling off, set on the stand, and I'm good to go. So obviously make sure if you're hunting out of one of these, you've got to knee these stands in and set on them. Knee yourself on the seat and actually set the stand. If you're hunting out of it just the way I just hung it, it's not going to be stable. So hopefully that helps somebody. Maybe you pick up on something that I've done, trial and error, still modifying it. It seems like every time I hunt, I change a little something or the way I do something. So not safe.